Clemson visits Wake Forest in an ACC battle Thursday night football. Clemson a 12-point favorite on the road. VR, you have an opinion in this game.
I do. I wish every night was Thursday night because for some reason
you've been hot.
I've been hot on Thursday nights. I've gone 12-2 in football, and I've hit every best bet, like 7-0. So for some reason, I've been doing good on Thursdays, and I think it's because these are marquee primetime games, and they're geared more towards the recreational bettor than the professional bettor. And there's no better example than this game here. Line opened up Clemson minus 14. Wise guys knew the public's going to be all over Clemson. Here's a team that's covered 4 straight. They're 5-2 against the spread for the season. They've made money backing them. They put up a lot of points. We know the public loves teams that could score. And they're 6-1 straight up against a Wake Forest team now they're playing, who nobody's given any respect to. We saw, like I said, the wise guys come in on the dog, and I think that's the right side. This may sound crazy to some, but I made my true line around a touchdown. And when I looked at what the game of the year lines were before the season started, ironically, Clemson was only 7.5 for this game. So I think my line's pretty close to what the true line should be. And seeing the wise guys grab the dog, it makes me feel a lot better. Here's the thing with Clemson. It's a short week, and it's tough to prepare for an offense like that. But Wake Forest has seen it before. And that's why I think they're not as in a big disadvantage. If Clemson was playing at a conference, then I'd be afraid to go against them on a short week because it's going to be tough to get ready for this kind of offense. But again, Wake's prepared for them. Wake has an excellent defense. They held their last 2 opponents, both games on the road, to 101 total yards rushing. So it's tough to run against this team. They only allow 51% completions, 3.4 yards per carry in college. Their defense is phenomenal. When you have a defense like that, the back door is always open. And when you're getting close to 2 touchdowns, as long as they're in the game, that's what I say. You give me a dog that's going to give me 60 minutes of effort and all these points, the back door is going to stay wide open. It's a primetime game. These kids get to be on TV. I like Wake Forest, man. Tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, VR did a lot of homework on this game, I got to tell you. Chuck Edel, what do you have to say?
Makes a lot of good points. So, I love going against a team on a short week who just got over a big game. Clemson, big victory over Virginia Tech there in the ACC, big win. And when you really look at that game, though, score-wise it was 38-17, but that's because Virginia Tech turned the ball over 4 times. They actually outgained Clemson in that game, 406 to 295. But of course, the turnovers. Clemson, 10th worst defense out of the 12 teams in the ACC, giving up 440 yards a game.
Clemson had Virginia Tech had double revenge. Remember last year, Clemson beat them both times. They beat them during the season at Tech. They beat them in the ACC championship game. So I mean, they got up for V-Tech, even though V-Tech's not the V-Tech of the last few years. Clemson got up for that game. I don't think they're going to get as up for Wake Forest.
You talk about the defense. There's some. I'm a big believer in yardage, and I think turnovers happen, and some you have to take into account. Like I said, interceptions certainly that's a product of your own efficiency. Fumbling, a little different story. However, the yardage numbers that Clemson gives up are just atrocious. And if you look at Wake, their yardage numbers are decent, but again, this isn't a team that had aspirations to play for a national championship, which Clemson did. And if you look at their defense, they had a couple of bad games. They gave up 52 to Florida State, a legit team. 37 to Army, okay, not very good. However, they still won that game pretty easily. And they gave up 34 to Duke, who's been really one of the surprise teams, certainly in the ACC. So other than that, they had some very good defensive efforts. So,
and this Wake team, they're going to try to run the ball in this situation. Clemson 97th against the rush. I mean, and
keep that offense on the sideline.
That's
baby.
Exactly what Wake wants to do. They don't want Boyd to be on the field too long here. They're going to try to get that time of possession.
All right, we've talked about it, VR. Let's go ahead and make it official.
Thursday night primetime football. Clemson at Wake Forest. I'm going to take the home dog here. I think that back door is going to be wide open the entire game. Look for Wake's defense to contain Taj Boyd. I think Tanner Price, he had success against them last year. He'll have success against them this year. Don't fall for that overhyped Clemson team. They're a little overvalued here. They're fun to watch. They score some points, but I don't think they'll have that much success at Wake Forest. They had to get up real high to play Va-Tech. Going to have some trouble doing that this week.
Okay, we're looking at dogs again on Thursday night.
Barking, baby, barking.
Gotta love it. I love the Thursday night.
Let the dogs loose.
Yeah,
It is.
I love
Let
when we
them
have
loose.
a winner on Thursday night. I should say that. So
To start the week off
It's
ahead,
nice, you know.
does it get any better than that?
it was tough last week when I had San Francisco and.
You're on
Safety.
the right, you're on the right side.
The safety that could have been.
Yeah, well, it could have been.
been.
Okay, coming up next, I'm going to talk about the Vikings who are hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to have a selection in that game. And as a reminder, you can see all our videos at pregame.tv.